Great morning, great afternoon, great evening, great night to a lot of us. This is Reginal Drummer, and welcome to a brand new episode of We Are Ready, the 2022 edition. Man, starting the year out, brand new year, brand new show. A lot to talk about tonight. Um, Over here at Square Mile Media, we encourage you to like, share, and spread the news. If we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. We will continue to focus on those things that impact us, either man-made or natural. So we'll look at a lot of things this evening. I'll be joined by a special guest, Ms. Sha'ria Thomas. She'll be sharing some great strategies for us for this upcoming year. Wanted to share a quote with you, and it's from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah: "Forward ever, backwards never." Even though we look at what happened over the last, I guess, 12 months, what have we learned? Many things happened. When 2021, we had the insurrection, new president, reparations, George Floyd, vaccinations and no vaccinations, left out of Afghanistan. Uh, People had many things to come up. Travis Scott, people dying at a concert, school shootings, mass shootings, police shootings, the Rittenhouse case, going to Mars, overthrowing the abortion laws. Wow, fatal heartbeat. Movies, critical race theory, COVID-19 variant, Omicron, booster shots, and the winter soldiers. A whole lot of things going on. A lot of people passed away. Just lost, whether it be Cicely Tyson, Larry King, Colin Powell, my mom, Edith Drummer, Betty White, Sidney Poitier. A lot of mental breakdown. We've seen it everywhere. So we definitely had a lot of stress in 2021. Antonio Brown. And I had a matter of fact, down here, another shout out to Brother Stan Knight that actually took his life. Uh, we had a lot going on in 2021, and in Alabama, Georgia, that's coming in, and it happened. Elections, supply chains, but looking forward, got resolutions and solutions, things that we can do. We see the mirror, what's in the back. There's a lot of hope for going into this new year. We are very optimistic. We set some goals earlier and we finished those first ones, And you know what? I think every 100 days we're going to do this because it was good. Got good results. 5 of those goals were one was to spend at least 10 minutes a day with me, myself, and I over the next 100 days. And then number 2 was to just drink some water. Just one, I think this is a 16-ounce bottle of water, one a day. And number 3 was to walk, crawl, hop, or run a mile a day. And then number 4 was to save at least $1 a day. And we boost that up to a lot of people started saving $10 a day. A lot of people came into the new year with an extra $100 or extra $1,000 in 100 days. If you do this for the next 365 days, you will have almost $4,000 at the end of the year. And then contact your family members. That was one of the things we did. Even before the passing of my mom, we were making those calls. Who would have thought that we would be needing to call people for those arrangements? But tonight, we're going to talk about the year. That's the year in the past. We're looking forward to some good things. A whole lot of just hope. And when you got hope and a brand new year, anything's possible. I'm joined by Miss Sha'ria Thomas, life coach and professional consultant to the people. How you doing? And Happy New Year, Miss Thomas. How you doing?
I'm doing great, drummer. Happy New Year to you as well.
Yes, it's a brand new one. I'm excited. We went over some things. I know you got some tips for us because, we can look in the past or we can keep moving forward. I know a lot of people start out early. We're in day number, I believe, 9. And they
Yes.
say most people don't keep their resolutions past, you know, they quit
Right.
about not to be, you know, it takes a minute to get those things in line. It takes what 21 days to make a habit of something, but maybe you can share some things, even if you share some things that happened last year,
Mm-hmm.
and tell us a little bit more about yourself and some things that you recommend that we do uh, for this year, starting out.
Sure thing. I like the way that you started off just in terms of looking back from how that was the challenge was started of those primary, you know, easy goals to start, but still it can be difficult for people to follow through. I wanted us to carry through into 2022 and just to give some more structure to it because when we align our lives with what we value, then we're more likely to follow through on it. So if one gets clear on, hey, this is my, we can say our body goal, your physical health goal, and this is my emotional goal or my family goal, and structure it in a way to where you set it and you plan it through. I like for us to actually literally take that time today and do that together,
Okay.
especially when, yeah, I thought it would be good to actually give some tips and we walk it through together. And hopefully our watchers and listeners can have more of a structured way to get to creating those goals for themselves and make it a habit because just as you said, it's stated in terms of just our mindset of creating a habit. It takes 21 days. However, to create that momentum to keep the structure of it going, it takes about an additional 3 to 6 weeks to create that consistency. So we want to create the habit. 40% of the behavior of what we do on a typical day that really structures into forming our habits. And so it takes so much away in terms of just our mental energy to have those daily habits in place. So it would be great for us to focus on that for today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'm excited. You got a willing student.
Beautiful.
You
Yes, let's do it
Let's
then.
do it. Because one thing, to be ready for anything, it takes some mindset, it takes some discipline, it takes some organization skills, it takes some time and some patience, and it takes effort. And sometimes
Mhm.
you got to have somebody that helps you stay accountable. So I know you'll share that with us. So I got my notepad out, uh, and got my pen. So I'm ready.
Awesome.
I'm ready to go. We
Beautiful,
ready.
beautiful. Yes, well, let's do it. And that's where we want to start, drummer, is that pen and paper. Going back to the basics. Yes, we have all this technology and there's apps and you can just use your note area on your phone. And some people are more tech savvy, but it's always just to go back to the basics of that pen and paper and to just write down our thoughts so we create. There's power in the word, there's power in the pen. I'm sure everybody hears that a lot, and there's truth to that. So we want to start definitely with doing that. You said how just in terms of accountability, that
Mm-hmm.
accountability piece is so essential. And so, even for my own personal goal, is I think I even shared on one of your shows back in 2021 was just to be more consistent. And I will say that when it comes to sharing on our platforms, and we have so many social media platforms, and we can connect. We need to start connecting more in the face to face. But it's great that we have the platform virtually. So I do plan on sharing more online and on our virtual connection. So I am going to do an actual challenge myself is to creating our happy and providing even tips on how to create our happy mind, body, and soul. So a holistic way. So let's get this thing rolling in terms of setting some goals. Sitting down. First, if we could take, just as you said, those 10 minutes, let's just take some time, and it goes with you actually deciding this is the day, this is the time that I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit out, whether it's in the morning or it's going to be in the evening. Normally, those are the time frames where before we even start our day or at the end of the day that we can really try to wrap our heads around what's next. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? What steps do I need to take to get there? And so I want to walk us through that for today. Now, let's start on a positive note. The positive is, what am I doing well? Now, drummer, in terms of areas, because there's significant areas of our lives that are important, to us, and it may be different for one person than the next. But our key ones that we all gravitate to and normally want to improve on, do better at, is whether it's with our own physical health, whether it's with our relationships. Now, relationships can be family relationships. Relationships can be more of our intimate, romantic relationships, or even just friendship or social relationships. So I want us to determine a goal for relationships, because that is a big part of our emotional wellness. And sometimes we may take for granted how much that can take away or add to, uplift our emotional health in terms of who do you surround yourself with. So what am I doing well? We're starting on that positive in terms of, let's start with the family. Okay. What am I doing well? And I want to take us a minute, because so often we are just go, go, go. And we have to learn how to be more present, more in the moment, more allowing things to come our way. And I even recall, how you said about in your challenge from last year, it was starting to meditate more. And that is so significant. So let's take this time to just reflect on, what is that? What are you doing well? Starting with family.
Well, on the relationship, and then even personal relationship, because moving around and sometimes maybe just texting people, but just not talking. Even in my personal life, matter of fact, I'll be honest, I did pick up a lady friend this year. So, so that means you got to look at time. You got to chop the pie up, because I'm kind of like a free bird, and people are like, man, and not to say that in a relationship it doesn't, because there's boundaries and whatnot, but yes, you have to be willing to share time and space with someone else on different things, because if you just been a free bird, I'd say, for a lighter word, a free bird like me, you don't think about going over there. You say, well, I'm going here. And you say, well, what are we doing for the holidays? You're like, same thing I did last year. Well, so I'm learning. Not more. So I'm learning.
It's too.
Yes. So that's a challenge for me. And even in the, just staying focused there and finding out what her needs are, what she wants, because you find yourself kind of selfish. I'm like, I never thought about that.
Exactly.
So I'm learning that in relationships, and even with family, when it comes down to my family, I'm learning to balance the time, because one time, and I remember my mom said, that's kind of robotic. That you just press the button and you put a smile. You don't say how you doing. You just put a question mark. It's kind of impersonal. So I'm learning to open up and do those things, which is good. I feel
Yes.
good.
Good to hear that. Most definitely. And I'm glad that you bring that up, just in terms of from being single and shifting to, yes, we have relationship goals. And what you're talking about is more of an intimate romantic relationship, but you also mentioned about just family, period. And so that
Amen.
the
Yes.
dynamics of first, we want to have a framework of, if we don't have a starter of looking at, some people can be afraid of thinking, well, what's your ideal? But having an ideal is a good thing, because then we have a starter of, this is what I would like to see out of this relationship. This is what I need in this relationship. Then you're able to have more of those open and honest conversations that can direct you in navigating what that your partner may want, as well as yourself, and maintaining, yes, healthy boundaries, but being able to see if you collide with common values and principles that can carry the relationship to move forward. So
Mm.
most definitely, good start. So that's where we want to start on that positive. What am I
Okay.
doing well? And then also, what do I need to improve on? And just as you said, you notice that, hey, can I get a little bit more of trying to be considerate is what I hear of the other
Yeah.
person, not just going in with what I want, what needs to be done, or what question I have. How are you
Oh,
doing for today?
oh,
So
oh,
yes, yes, knowing what do I need to improve on, what do I want to improve on. So definitely determining what that is for you. Then we want to go more into the actual goal itself. What is that for you? What do you want to accomplish when it comes to that goal? So first goal, as we said, is relationships, family, romantic, intimate, and some more social friendships. What is your goal of what you would like to accomplish? When we say accomplish, let's tone it down, because when we are talking about people and connecting, but we do want to get something out of it, and there's nothing wrong with that, because essentially we do have needs. We have social needs, we may have sexual needs, and so being aware of that is a good thing, and we do want to address that. But I say, what do you want to accomplish? We can tone it down to just look at, what is it that you would like to get out of those, and also what would you like to contribute to those relationships as well, so we can frame that goal
okay.
for you. Okay, so that's where we are with our first goal. Now, looking
Okay.
at next areas, and we want to continue that flow. So, next area, even for yourself, I'm going to put you on the
Oh,
spot because you said you're open to it.
oh yes.
As
Yeah.
have you taken the time to reflect on what is it for 2022 that you do want to accomplish, whether it is work, career, your physical health, your spirituality? Have you considered what that is, and do you mind sharing that with us?
Oh yes, no problem. Uh, in health, because I uh, I think you know doing the water and running, um, I started to monitor myself, especially blood pressure. And blood pressure, you go and you say, man, it's borderline. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot the number, but it's a number. 140 is not bad, but
It
it's
is
at the
borderline.
edge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I said, well, what can I do to correct it without medication? And then I found out, and it takes a minute to get those numbers down, believe it or not. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it's got to do with me personally, what I'm eating. I cut back on beer. Uh, I looked at what I was eating, what was causing the triggers to happen. Because I said, man, I got down about 125. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then I said, well, it came. It was, the other number. I can't even think of the other number, the top and the bottom. And then I said, which 125? Well, I said, well, maybe this machine, because the other thing is I invested in the tool because different machines show different things like scales and
Yes.
things of that nature, plus or minus. And uh, so I found out a lot more about monitoring my health, getting calm. I said, I can calm down, but, sometimes it would hover around, you know, 35 to 135, 140 up there. And I said, okay. And then I said, I'm gonna calm down a little bit because I'm not thinking about doing it, because that could be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to
Right.
get them numbers now. And but just monitoring exercise.
Mm-hmm.
When I ran, and I'm still not up to running a full mile, you know, consistently. You know,
Okay.
I either walk and just walk. But I mentally I'll force myself and I'll say, well, this is 2 miles. Well, I'm gonna run maybe about 40 yards, and then I move it up. I say I got it up to about a 440, which is about a fourth of the way around the track. And then mentally, I
Mm-hmm.
had to get myself into it. I said, man, you know, uh, this is, the day to day thing helps me because I have to talk to myself too to motivate myself to stay there and do it and get up and do it. So I've been doing that and uh, monitoring what I eat, monitoring what I drink, and those things. So we're working on that, and I feel good.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. Yes. So definitely, in some, I know many people stay on that journey in terms of physical health, and I am big on balance, and so I like the way that you talked about even investing in what an actual blood pressure monitor is what so you would know
Oh
what
yeah,
your blood pressure is. Okay, yes.
right, right,
And
yes,
so being aware of that on a day-to-day basis to really stay in balance, definitely with your health and nutrition, so essential. Um, and if that's your goal, now we know I have the resources to help you to get there. Now,
yes. I
of
got to
course,
plug into. Yes,
yes, most
that'll help
definitely.
me. Accountability.
Yes, most definitely. And so with that accountability, I partner with Dangerous Curves Fitness,
Oh,
located, yes, that's located there's a physical location in East Point area, that's the South Atlanta area. Also, that we are going to be doing some virtual as well. Um, Periodically, we do a free challenge, so just stay connected to my social media and you'll get more information on that. But we definitely are starting a boot camp. We do yoga,
okay.
Zumba. So there's an assortment of more resistance training for those who really want to amp it up, and like more of the physical cardio, but also strength training combined. That's for the boot camp. And for people who like to dance and just work it out, but in a nice, fun environment, Zumba is good because it has the music and it's more of we call it the dance party. And then we have the yoga. Yes, we
Okay.
have the yoga that you keep your mind calm, but you also sculpt your body because yoga is about union of the feminine and the masculine within all of us, whether we're men or women.
Okay.
So definitely check that out. You can go to yourultimateyou.com. Just have to plug that in to check out
Okay.
more information. The letter U.com, or Insu's ultimatewellness.com.
Okay. And you said you have an area in East Point where.
Yes, in East Point. The
Okay.
physical location, I don't have that on hand because it's actually a new location that
Okay.
we just will be. actually. Haven't even started the grand opening yet. So this is a new
Okay.
project in terms of goals for myself.
Okay.
Yes. So would love to see men and women come join us for that
Yeah.
body goal, because that's a body goal. That's our physical health goal
Okay.
there. Most definitely. So one thing you also mentioned, and we want to look at, and I want to go into that goal is mental health,
Oh yeah.
because mental health can be, I would say, distorted in terms of people seeing it as, oh, someone has a mental illness, versus this is about our, if we can say, mental wellness, but it's still our health, and ensuring that we're doing something every day to keep ourselves sharp, to keep ourselves intact in terms of taking care of our mentality. And it does take effort. It does take the sense of recognizing that, yes, we're creating that habit of
Mhm.
what is it that gives you that space and that time so that you're connected, you're able to focus, you're able to concentrate. And so doing such things as what you've talked about and what we call in my field is cognitive self-talk. We
Okay.
need that positive cognitive, meaning the mind, self-talk. What are you telling yourself every day? If I'm waking up and I'm meeting the day with a, uh, it's another day. I don't feel like being bothered. I'm just tired. My knees hurt.
Mhm.
My back is aching. I hate my job. How does that make you feel? You
that
know,
that can
even
get you.
what's that?
Yeah, that can get you depressed. That's one thing. I think I wake up, make
Mm-hmm.
I pat myself on the back. I give myself a thumbs up. I
There
rub my
we
own
go.
forehead. I pump fist, imaginary, and you feel good. Uh, and that part, we got that down. But
Mhm.
I can that can make you lazy because you say, well, if I, but this year, brand new year, so we're focusing on completing goals that we set. Uh, but the attitude is definitely good. I'm looking here, and that's something
Mhm.
definitely to share with everybody. Yes, I like the yes. We got a lot of work, but um, yeah, mentally, I try to keep that mind clear. I balance my low thoughts
Mhm.
between my high thoughts. I try to keep it more, in the middle. Not to get too much in dream world, but not to
There we
get so
go.
deep down in doom and gloom. So I'm optimistic uh, so a mental, and then it helps me think better because I tend to associate or attract, you know, up upwardly minded people. People thinking of,
Mhm.
'cause the doomers and gloomers, I said, oh man, can't get too many doomers and gloomers, gotta set boundaries. You're like,
We
oh
do.
no, get away, get away, get away. Because
Most definitely.
that keeps us ready, that's part of staying ready. It is being around uh good, energized people. I mean, you can't avoid
Mhm.
everybody, but you can minimize your exposure. Just like we wear a mask and get vaccinations for COVID, we have to wear masks
Yes.
and get some type of mental vaccination from negative people and stuff like that. So we like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. And just as you're saying, drummer, is that mental and emotional connection and boundaries are so essential, and some people do not even know how to set boundaries. So as we talk about setting goals, that really considering what type of people do you have in your life? Are they contributing and uplifting you? Are they challenging you, assisting you, and bringing some positive energy into your life, because we are energetic beings too, emotional, mental, all of those. We are multidimensional. And so we are affected by each other's energy, most definitely. And that does affect us emotionally. But it starts with those thoughts, definitely. So if we energize our thoughts, then we can start on a good note. And so recognizing, hey, how am I starting my day? And just as you said, you rub your head and get it pumped up. I'm with you, and because that is so. Yes, exactly. But some people do not have that, and they don't even initiate it. So that could be a mental health goal for someone. So definitely, what are we doing well? What do you want to improve on? And what are you looking to accomplish? And so we can follow that framework for all of our areas in life, whether it is spirituality, whether it is financial, even like you said, in terms of that $1.
Oh yeah.
Yes, most
We
definitely.
heard a lot about that one. Well, I've been doing that for a while, and
Okay.
and it's good to once I put it out, you get accountability partners because people,
Mm-hmm.
it's a drummer. How close are you on your dollar a day? Have you gone to $10 a day? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can be stressful because people say, "Man, I can't do the 10." I said, "Well, um, if you can, whatever you do is a lot better than doing nothing. But you don't want to
Exactly.
reward yourself for not doing nothing. For instance, if I'm going to do $1 a day, I had to discipline myself not to bother. It's not even
Mm-hmm.
about the dollar. It's just about not touching it. Because people, if most people, if they can take something out of their paycheck or something like that, but that's good. But personal
Mm-hmm.
discipline to have the money on your person and not spend it. That takes a
Exactly.
that's a bigger thing. That's like having a refrigerator full of food and not eating it, or a lot of something to drink, and you able to go in and not bother it. So that takes a little more discipline, and so I found that out, and it takes a little bit more work to go to the next stage, whether it be uh, the dollar, which in 100 days,
Mm-hmm.
that's $100. Or if you do $10 a day in 100 days, that's $1,000. And once you do it, you know, even if you only get 700, but
Mm-hmm.
and that's still taking care of all the other things that you do, bills and yada yada yada. But if you do it mentally, you want to do it again, and when
Right.
you do it again, maybe it's to get something, maybe a reward, a trip, a vacation, something nice. Because I think after every goal, or it's got, like you say, even relationships got to be return on investment. You say, I put this time in, I'm looking for something. So if you save some money, or even if you uh, put invest in your health, the return on
Mm-hmm.
investment, you feel good. I mean, I feel more energized, even though I didn't get up to running a full mile. I felt more energized just
Right.
from
Yes.
walking, getting up. And so I know by the time, and we're looking forward to doing some stuff like long term. We'll run a couple of,
Mm-hmm.
little marathons, and then even bike riding. So it's a lot of other options. And I'll say this: I failed the other day.
Oh
Uh,
no.
just tripped and fell. Now, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I
Mm-hmm.
knew. I said, you know what? This is not gonna be good because got a birthday coming up. We're downloading the 6.3 software, and I said, man, this is not gonna be good. But because I've been exercising, stretching, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wake up all sore. I mean, I remember if because I tripped over a board, not paying
Mm-hmm.
attention. Uh, helping my brother, and I couldn't do nothing but lay down there. Once I hit the ground hard because I'm carrying,
Uh-oh.
I'm rolling about 250. When 250 hit the ground,
Mm-hmm.
it is not an easy thing.
Right.
When they say a forward moving object hits a stationary object, which is the ground, the ground ain't good. So, you know, but I felt good. I did. I mean, I said, man, you know what? I fell down hard, and I could have broke something, but and then I did because I've been jogging and running. I did break the fall a little bit. You
Okay.
know, yeah, I just didn't bam. So I think I can see results, and then that
Mm-hmm.
motivates me to want to do it. Even when it comes to saving money, relationships, I see good results. And being in a relationship, you like,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's gonna be a problem, man. I mean, there's a lot of weight to carry. I mean, you got to worry.
Mm-hmm.
You call them this today. I text them. They said, well, you didn't call me. You text. I said, I text you. I put the little heart thing there.
See, was that good enough? Sorry,
So,
texting is different than a verbal conversation over the phone.
right. Learning. I'm like, okay, and
Uh-huh.
so you learn things, and I think especially as a male
Mm-hmm.
to express uh the other side, the feminine energy, which is some compassion, uh
There we go.
the ability to share space, uh and it's a good thing, so we're looking forward to the experience. It's a good ride. Yes, from the spiritual, financial, relationship, and then even looking towards um the future. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
not to get too far off center, I was thinking we were writing my mother's obituary. My mother,
Mm-hmm.
91 years old, but she did a lot
Oh
of stuff
wow.
over the 91 years. And the guy was saying, man, I see why you do a lot of things. I said, yeah, she did a lot of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it helps you. I think it helps you to live longer. Not that you try a lot of different things, but by experiencing different things and seeing them, and not getting locked into where when you say, man, I hate my job, or you look over at the person next to you and say, man, goodness, I'm gonna get out of here one day. So anytime you can find peace in
Mm-hmm.
uh, in your day, that's a good thing. I think that increases longevity.
I agree, most definitely. And that's what we're talking about. You really incorporated as I was listening to you is more of what we're talking about. It's just having holistic
Mm,
balance, balancing ourselves and recognizing and taking that self inventory of, hey, do I need to be more compassionate? And what is going to help me to bring in knowing that maybe I surround myself with people who don't help to uplift me. Maybe I need to end some relationships. And also looking at my own internal thoughts, maybe I need to work on energizing my thoughts a bit more and getting more of those negatives out so I can take the actionable step. Because unfortunately, the majority of the general population do not take out the time as what we're doing now so that you can uplift yourself out of your state of the mundane, the day to day, and know that first off, we are entitled, I would say, to
mm,
abundance. We are, just in terms of our makeup, but we also have a negative programming within our minds. And so those programs work day in, day out that keep people stagnated on a job or in a loveless relationship or marriage for years on end and just feeling miserable. But we don't have to
mm,
continue. 2022, let's make this, as you started off, a year of hope. And because
Right.
over these last 2 years, it has been so tumultuous. There has been so much fear, and it seems like the death has increased. And so just putting a negative connotation that we've all experienced over these last 2 years, let's make this year more one of optimism, more one where we have the focus and we are taking better care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Balance. And so, that's what we're talking about today. I'm really big on acronyms because it can help really jog the mind to remember. And so if we remember, we're more likely to follow through on it. We're not using so much mental energy to try to think it over. And although we need that as well, but it's
Right.
easier when we're able to carry it through. So kind of incorporating what we're talking about all together. So we are setting those goals, creating that balance is we're looking at our level of esteem. How do we feel about ourselves? What do we want for ourselves? So using the acronym ESTEEM. And so we've started off in terms of energize our thoughts, because if we don't stay and decide, we have to make the decision. Although we normally might take the action and it may seem automatic, we literally have to decide first, but it's so quick that we make those decisions. So we want to energize. E is for energize our thoughts. S, we want to stump out. What are we stumping out? We want to stump out the negative. So if we are aware of, how am I, just as we said about that start of the day, of am I starting off on a positive note? Am I starting off on a negative? In the past, a past show, we've talked about staying in that neutral. That's the balance. Of course, we want the positivity, but every experience is not going to be so positive. So if we can stay in the neutral zone is actually the best place to be, because we're not so aroused by emotion, but we can also experience and keep that calm and peaceful and joyful state. And so T is for trust yourself. Now, I won't say many. I don't have my statistics in front of me, and I don't want to give anything bogus in terms of stats. But
Right.
I would say, even in my practice as a mental health therapist, as a life coach, and when clients come to me, they lack on self-confidence. And I know we've all experienced that. We can all relate to some time and space and place in our lives where we doubted ourselves. We didn't believe that, okay, I can do this, or how can I do it? So learn to trust in yourself. And that does take time, as we're doing now, to reflect. Some people may be even afraid of the word meditation, but to meditate is really just focused concentration. Focused concentration. And literally taking the time to allow yourself to be, so I can accept myself, so I can accept that this is the next step I'm taking. Just as we're walking through setting these goals, that I'm going to trust that I have the ability, the know-how, and I can get the resources to get me there. So trusting yourself is so essential. E is for endure. E is for endure and endear your body. So endure and endear it, meaning that we want to love it, we want to take care of it, but we want to endure the obstacles, the challenges that comes, that is only natural to get us to where we would like to be. So taking better care of that physical body, that physical goal we talked about, right. Drinking that water, exercising more, whatever it may be. So that kind of incorporates us staying connected to our physical health. E, we move into the emotional. We want to end those. People are stuck on toxic. We'll probably have to do a show just on toxic relationships,
Oh,
drummer.
yes, yes.
Yes.
That would be good. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes. But the other E is for ending toxic, unhealthy relationships, period. Whether it's in the workplace, whether it's with your parents, siblings, husband, wife, girlfriend, really recognizing, hey, you know what? Is this relationship destructive for me?
Mm.
And that can be a difficult one for some because we stay so attached and connected to what we're used to our comfort zone. And oftentimes, people who we grow up with, who we know, who we are just interacting with on a day to day, we just get used to that routine. So, really ending those toxic, unhealthy relationships. And so the last one is move on. And that, I think that was a part of the quote in terms of um, what she mentioned in terms of, we want to move forward. It's
Right.
continue that momentum. I even think Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a quote regarding that. I don't know it off of hand, but I know it starts with that sense of just moving forward. We have to continue to move forward. And in that is taking that nugget of knowing that, hey, if this didn't work out, what can I learn from it?
Right.
And if we can take that attitude of recognizing, although it may have felt negative or in the moment perceived it, there was a lesson. There was a lesson in that to learn. And so that can help to keep us moving forward, that we don't have to go back. We don't have to keep reviewing it. It happened. Now let's take next steps of what's next moving
Mm.
forward. And so that's esteem.
I like that. You know,
Yes.
we ran that across the screen for everybody. And I like, once you see something, uh, and I've been able to do that. Accept it, learn from it, and be ready to move on. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a big part. That's a big part. Not that you quit, but if you give something reasonable time and you put effort in
Mm-hmm.
it, sometimes you have to know. It's like playing cards, poker. You got to know when to go. You got to know when to
I
fold.
know when to fold
You
them.
like, man, this ain't gonna get no better.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
I'm optimistic. I'm praying. I'm saying, but this one right here, I'm gonna have to fold this. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anytime I do that, and yeah, we make things happen. We improvise, and I think in relationships, especially, even business relationships or a personal relationship, sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
do try to make something work. We say we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it do what it do, and
Right.
sometimes it just is what it do.
It
And
is exactly.
so to recognize uh, when it's there, uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
even setting a goal. I think we talked the other week about setting realistic goals and uh, keeping it something that you can do versus something so far out there. Because I like how you broke it down, where uh, it's in a relationship, instead of saying I'm gonna love everybody more. Well, this might be too broad. You ain't gonna love
There we
everybody
go.
more. Talk about, and that makes it difficult, because people say, man, I love
Mm-hmm.
everybody. And then you say, like, man, that's lying to yourself, because I
There we
see
go.
how that happens. So I have to take every uh thing, as it is. And I
Mm-hmm.
learn from it. And people, uh, some people are toxic, some people are good. And uh, it's at this number. I know I probably it's going to be a lot harder to change them, because some people say, "Oh yeah, I know I'm gonna pray for them. I've been working on them." They be like, "Won't he do it?" But no, he might not do that one. So uh, so sometimes I have to, and I've done it so many times, to restart, reset.
Mhm.
Uh, it's not hard, not difficult, and you don't want to do it all the time, but
Right.
it's not a bad thing to regroup and restart. I look at this year, 2022, we always
Mhm.
come up with something. 2022, new you.
Right.
And some it's in my brain to
Mhm.
do, and be true to me. And so I'm excited, and I've got these notes that's going to help fulfill my goals, and I'm keeping an open mind, and I guess I have to be like a kid because I'm looking
There we
at
go. Yeah.
entering it, and it's all kind of possibilities. Even with all the negative stuff that happens, uh, whether it be COVID. One of the things
Mhm.
I had down that I had, I had made a road trip, and like when the first time I took the COVID test, I said, "I'll never get one of them again." But it wasn't a bad experience. It was
Mhm.
how I was thinking about it because I moved and it hit my nose. But this
Okay.
time, when I came back, and you got to be optimistic because I paid attention, and then uh, uh, I didn't allow anxiety because the test said just not to get way out there, but the test said it was going to be 48 hours. So I
Okay.
didn't get my result in 48 hours. And
Uh,
then when I got the result, they didn't. I didn't get it. My brother. Uh, we all took the test at the same time. Within 10 minutes of each other, something like that. Well, anyway, they got theirs, so I didn't get mine. So in the
mhm.
back of my mind, I was like, man, you know what? You didn't get yours because you got COVID. Because the thought came in,
There we go.
and
It comes
I was
in.
like,
Yeah.
man. And then, by opening my mind up and said, you know what? Call that number. So when I called the number, it's not a local number. It's out in
Mhm.
Texas. And
Mm.
then I had to go in, and they didn't text me my information because the lady that did the data input put it was come to your email. Well, it
Mhm.
didn't come to my email, my text. But anyway, by going through the process, I was able to get my results. But if I had panicked, and sometimes we bring that anxiety. So um, even though it was a little anxiety because they were looking at me kind of funny. They was like, wonder why he ain't got his yet. So, you get all this stuff start going through your head. But
Mhm.
I think we have to be open minded, and I think we have to be for instance, if you pray over something, you say, however you pray, you say, I'm looking for this. You got to stay in that world where you believe it's going to happen. Don't doubt it because I didn't doubt the process because
Right.
even with what was happening, uh, following those numbers, I was able to find and get my result. Now it took about 3 hours.
Okay.
But I had to go to work. I was like, man, good. If I had sat down and started to worry, I would not have gotten my results until Monday
Mhm.
because the local place doesn't open till Monday. And I've been freaking out. People have been like, man, you can't come around here. All this type of stuff. But anyway, so the I like keeping an open mind and being optimistic about all the possibilities.
That's beautiful. Most definitely. Optimism. What comes to mind, as you say that, is when we create expectations, even like you said, that thought popped into your mind. It's only normal. We have random thoughts. We have thousands of thoughts that goes through just an average mind. So a negative thought will pop up, positive one, a neutral one. It's what we feed. And so if we just start to focus more on the core of expecting the best, but also learning how to cope with the worst. Because there are, definitely many have experienced many of their hardest challenges over these past few years. So we have to build on our ways of coping too. And so although we're talking about, setting goals, this is a way of healthy coping that it gets us motivated. It can be a big motivator for many, including yourself and definitely myself and many of my clients. And so understanding what even motivates you is so essential to connect with, most definitely.
And, so I think part of staying ready is a good, good physical, good mental attitude, because no matter what happens, even if you experience a health challenge, or if you experience a job loss or a financial setback, one of the things that I found just for being, and I'm not saying you just go around like you in Peter Pan mode, like nothing happened. Oh, it don't bother me.
We need to be realistic now.
You got to be realistic. But, I have a tendency, not to, well, yeah, you got to be worried. But if I'm worrying and I don't come up with a plan, then I'm not getting a good return on my investment.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. And, just as you said, worrying is normal. It's normal for us to worry, but it's the excess of it. And so we can shift our focus, we can shift our energy, we can shift and have a connection of, this is what I want to see, envision, and that's really what we're doing, is how can we envision our lives by using our mental to create more of a plan. Sure, the plan may not go as we intended, but if we don't have one to start, then what do we have? Yes, exactly. So that's the part of being ready. We want to have that preparation to at least have the plan in place. And so if we have that, normally we're halfway at least there.
Yes. Well, definitely for everybody out there, we got to get your contact information and everything, because I know people, including myself, want to get more additional information. We want to make 2022 the best year for us. And we got food, we got resources. So give them your information, how to get in touch with you. I know we got it on the screen, but they like to hear it from your voice.
Oh, most definitely. Thank you. Yes. My primary website is Sha'ria Thomas. And yes, it's on. You can know that spelling so you get it right and you can connect to me. Of course, I'm here to help you in terms of living a happier, healthier, and more peacefully joyful life in your physical health, mental health, emotional, relationship health, and business and career, because it's about living a balanced and full life. And so I'm here to help to navigate that path. Your ultimate you, your ultimate, the letter U.com, is all about that emotional experience, connecting with others. And actually at the end of this month, January 27th, we're kicking off a mix and mingle professional mixer, as well as just an overall experience to help others to connect more, whether it is in the professional field as well as in the dating arena in terms of relationships and enjoyment, because I do my thing when it comes to balancing my emotions, and that's through music. I love some music,
Oh,
and so I'll
yes.
be actually joining the house band and doing a little tune. So I hope to see
Okay.
everyone there as well.
Okay. Well, we definitely look forward to that. I think this is a good year. This is a good year to uh, open up, uh, and uh, part of even the acronym "We Are Ready," which is war, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a battle to work on yourself because there's always something coming after you. So uh, you have to battle whether it's negative emotions, whether it's boundaries, whether it's bad news. Uh, we have to uh, load our ammunition of good
Mm.
things. You know, we shooting peace weapons over here, and yeah, boom, yeah, boy, because but it's good because it helps you deal with everything. Because even when it comes down to survival, you can take two people, uh, and if they're stressed out and a whole lot of stuff, it's going to be harder. So we're excited, and I know we'd like to thank everybody over here at Square Mile Media. We love you like God loves the world. Follow us, share, uh, and we look forward to sharing more information with you. Uh, and we'll definitely see you at the top or from the top. The view is just so clear from over here. So have a great day and stay ready. Stay ready at all times. That way you don't have to get ready. And thank you, Miss Thomas. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you for having
And
me.
next week, same bad channel, same bad time.